Hello everyone, my name is Bamisola Olaniran. I'm here to talk about my final project on financial analysis case study for Stanford Healthcare financial statement. So first of all, the introduction. Financial analysis is defined as the process of examining the financial strength and weakness of a firm in order to establish the relationship of the items in the financial statement. Financial statement is the main document of analysis as far as a company's performance and success is concerned. Financial statement is described as an organized collection of data according to conceptual and logical framework. According to Whelan, it is recommended that accounting statements should follow logical, consistent accounting procedure. Management needs financial analysis for them to ascertain whether they are running financial health or not, and if not, what they can improve on it. Most managers would always want to show good financial health, even when reality says otherwise. Some companies who manipulated their account ended up in bankruptcy for Enron and Walmart. Summary of financial statements. Financial statements used in these questions belong to Stanford Healthcare, and the link is provided in the reference page. The figure shows how the company performed in the 2 years of 2013 and 2014. Profitability-wise, it shows that company is profitable as it recorded $1.8 billion in gross profit and $1.5 billion in net profit in 2014. This is my opinion shows a growing company since it recorded an increase in both gross profit and net profit by $157 and $132 million respectively. The cash flow is not left behind as it is recorded net increase at the end of the year is $18,824,000 in the 2 years of operation. According to Palepo, financial statements preparation is key in ascertaining the profitability, financial health of the company. There are crucial documentations needed for reference and for decision making. There are indeed several users of financial statements who are first and foremost is the owners, suppliers, government, and so on. Financial statement analysis methods. There are several methods of analyzing financial statements, such as ratio analysis, trend analysis, fund flow analysis, and common size statements. In this proposal ratio analysis, majority has been used, and even then it has not been exhausted in its use as some ratios were more relevant in the case. It was only necessary to use the ratios relevant in this context, although other methods are also useful in financial statement analysis. Trend analysis is also important as it shows how the company is performing currently as compared to its previous year. The main reason why companies do financial analysis is to evaluate their performances and thus be able to tell whether they're going in the right direction. Liquidity ratios that test the capacity of any company to discharge its short-term obligations display impressive results, especially in quick ratio. Interpretations of financial management and capital management. Management of this organization has done exemplary well in the management of its capital. The working capital, especially account receivables, has reduced by 37% when compared to the previous year. This means they have employed strict policy in relations to receivables, and this ensures increased cash flows. Investment, especially the short term, has increased by an astonishing 103%. This is a good indicator that working capital is managed well. As such, a strong company in terms of liquidity is a sign that they can consider investing in the new system, as it will ensure smooth and efficient operation in future. Interpretations of capital management drives the company into making decisions whether to invest or not to invest. Capital management is the primary role of managers in order to accelerate companies' growth. Assessment and implementation of EHR system. It is important for the company to consider the system as cost-benefit analysis is promising. The analytical tool used, NPV, shows positive net present value and therefore the investment should be considered. It is beneficial not only to this company under study but the health organization in general. Apparently, not all health organizations can afford the cost involved in procuring this technology. What is important once a decision has been made is in favor of purchasing is for the company to make concerted effort in training of their staff. The NPV is an important replacement tool in investment appraisal when real options was introduced. Many thought that it will replace NPV. Several years down the line, NPV is still the only appraisal method. For EHR system, I'm also one of EHR consultants, so this is something that is really close to my heart, and it's really important for every organization to embrace EHR system because one, it makes patient data really more accessible to other provider. For instance, if Stanford Health is using Epic EHR system, for example, and Mercy Hospital is also using EHR system, there is what is called Care Everywhere. If both are using Epic, the doctor do not have to go call the other doctor. The patient only needs to sign a waiver form where you use the Care Everywhere to get the patient's previous chart from other hospital. Also, the EHR system is really beneficial not only for the patient but also for the doctor because it has different tool where doctor can diagnose patient based on pictures and other necessity. Also, patient can go online and view their chart. There's also a e-visit where the patient can log into and also ask for information concerning their symptoms. Summary and conclusion. In conclusion, technology should be embraced in the current age as it is the only solution to deal with massive data companies handle. It is no longer tenable for organizations to operate manually as doing so is a recipe for disaster. Therefore, companies go digital not because they like, but because there's no option. And it's very beneficial for every company to go digital because you can always pull information. If companies are still doing manual, a lot of charts can go missing. Patient information can be mixed up. There are a lot of patients with the same name, date of birth, and all of that. With digital, it's easy to just search patient name, patient information, and pull the patient information. Digital EHR system also has proved to show low patient misinterpretation, misinformation. Also, once the new system is installed, the benefits will trickle one by one. For any organization to get rid of paperwork, errors in billing, and increase revenue, digital system is an option. So based on my knowledge on EHR system, it's the reason a lot of companies take a while before they opt for EHR system is the process. Because first of all, you have to go through the process of talking to each vendors. There's a lot of EHR system. There is Epic, there is Cerner, there is Athena, and there is Meditech, and so on. You have to talk to each vendors and be sure and see the one that is more beneficial to your company and see one that is you can also tweak to your company needs. Or also if you're trying to save cost, everyone has this cost benefit. Everyone has which is cheaper, everyone has a cheaper cost. Also, every organization, for Epic, for instance, it has each package. So if every company wants to tweak it to their own, it's more expensive. So it also depends on the company's pocket. Also, after the company decides to buy a particular EHR, you have to go on the implementation phase where you hire a lot of trainers, you do a lot of testing to be sure that your interfaces are working correctly. A lot of hospitals do not like going through this process because it is really time consuming. It takes about like a year to 2 years, or sometimes 3 years, to go through this implementation phase, because you want to be sure that your system is ready to go live. So you do a lot of testing, put it on the test ground and on the playground to be sure that this is working with this system. Also, you go through like hiring trainers to come and train your staff. So trainers are already credentialed or certified through that particular EHR. Then they train the staff, you get super users. You take a lot of people away from their regular working environment. So that also causes shortage of staff, because some staff are going to training, therefore like there's not a lot of staff on the floor. So like you get to training, and also you contract out your staff to bring more consultants, and that is really expensive, because another organization can bring like about like 500, like 1,000 consultants, depending on how big the company is. And so that's a lot of expense on the company. So after the implementation phase, like you go live in Epic or go live on Cerner, go live in one of the EHR systems. Then you see that you have the support users for the hospital. The support users are not working on the floor. Then you see a lot of shortage of staff, then patient delays, because the first couple of weeks of go live, it's expected. Normally you might take like a provider or an end user to just take 20 minutes per visit, but because of the new implementation of that EHR system, it could take anywhere from 30 minutes to 40, sometimes an hour or hours. For example, the emergency department always is the one that notices this the most, because the wait time of an ER normally might be like an hour, 2 hours. We all know the ER wait time is long, but implementing new software, it could take anywhere from like 6 hours, 7 hours, and patients start like complaining. But I've seen a lot of hospitals put out flyers and just put in by the front of the hospital or the desk that, oh, we're implementing new software. So you have to be patient with us. You have to, because we're trying to make your care easier. And so after the go live, we have what is the optimization phase, where you see a lot of tweak, a lot of like different things that we're now working right during the go live. This is where the company talk with their staff, the managers, and see, okay, what do you want us to change? What do you want us to add? So all this process is kind of like a lot for some organization, thereby they find it difficult to go into the digital world or go to the EHR system because of the cost, the time consumption, and sometimes you lose your patient because some of the patients are not patient enough to stay for that duration of time. So it's really important to be able to, within all this period, you need to be ready to go through all this process. But at the end of the day, the EHR system is by far one of the best technology brought into healthcare. I've been there, I've done that. I've worked with both paper chart and I've also done the EHR. A lot of end users complain the first month because learning new system is hard. Some people do not like change, but after like months of using it, they'll love it because there is a lot of benefit. For example, with Epic, you can get research stuff. You can go, they have the picture diagnosis, where you check a patient can come with a rash and just look at the rash and look at the picture, can tell you what exactly this rash means, what diagnosis for this patient, what medication should you give the patient. And it's making healthcare more viable and more easy accessible. Patients can log into MyChart and find the information. They can have a visit with a doctor without even going into the clinic. So at the long run, we need to weigh the pros and cons. I know the financial aspect is what that draws back, because you have to be ready. You have to have enough funds. So yes, in conclusion, I feel like technology needs to be embraced, and EHR, despite the financial difficulty, should be embraced. Thank you and have a good one. Bye.